ladies, Steph here. Today we are going to work on the beginner trick, the tuck. There's very many versions. The tuck is honestly a real starting point for a lot of progressions, and that leads you into transitions and advanced moves. So you want to make sure you get this trick, the core of it, down packed before you make it dynamic or before you start lifting legs and opening legs and everything else. So what does a tuck look like? I'll show you a demonstration first, and then I'll take you through the talking points of a tuck. So you tuck, this is what it looks like. Awesome. All right. So what's important in this move? What is super important is your hands. So let's start talking about your hands first. We are in a split grip position. If you haven't seen a split grip position before, the split grip is mostly about what's going on down here and what's happening with this bottom hand, and the top hand can vary in split grip position. I think most girls will probably start with it here, and then you'll slowly move up to here. When you think about this in some of your goal moves, like iron X's, whatever else, that is also a split grip position. And what's really important in a split grip position is your push and your pull and what's going on with whatever the bottom hand is doing. So with my bottom hand, first thing I want to do is I want to face my pole. I want to get whichever hand I want on the bottom. Remember, you're going to do both sides, so you can't favor one anyway. And I'm going to bring my palm to face the pole. What I want to do is I want to wrap it around the pole, but I want to leave my pointer finger facing down. All right, that's going to help give you a little bit more stability. This could be really weird if this is sort of your first time, or if you are a beginner and you're starting pole. A lot of girls start wrapping their finger, but as soon as you start wrapping your finger, it's just less grip points, and it's easier to slide in. So pop that bottom finger down, it helps keep you stable. So with the bottom finger down, the next important part we need to talk about is our wrist. So this trick can cause injuries if not done correctly. You want to keep a straight line between the finger and through, well, it's sort of a straight line. You want to keep that straight. What you don't want to do is this. That puts so much pressure on your wrist, and then you're putting weight on top of that as well. So you want to keep this nice and solid and fairly straight. The next thing we need to talk about after the wrist is the elbow. We don't want to lock our elbows out. We want to keep a nice bend. That bend helps us push through that bottom arm because we'll be pulling through the top arm, and that's going to help us distribute our weight on the pole, yeah? So that is the important part about a split grip in the bottom. So with this move, the top arm is also very important. You want to have thumb facing up, wrap your hand around the pole. This is taking weight. This isn't just hanging out. So what we do find is a lot of girls don't actually pull through this top arm. If we were in class with you and we were asking you to do even just this in your split grip position, I should be able to walk up, push your arm, and your arm shouldn't come off the pole. So you need to think about really, literally, the pole is here. I want to think about getting it over here and pulling it out. That's what you need, because that's going to help you get your body weight onto the pole and shifting onto the pole. So you need to push. Did I say push before? If I did, I meant pull. Pull through that top arm. So without even thinking about what our legs are doing, let's just do that on the pole. So put your hand down on the bottom in your split grip. Make sure you're not too bent. Make sure you're nice and high, and you've got a slight bend in this elbow. The other hand, the outside hand, is going to come across about forehead height, and you're going to wrap it on, and you're going to push through that bottom hand, pull through that top hand. You can see like my muscles are super turned on right now. That's what we want to do in our tuck. So once we're comfortable, try that on both sides. If you're just starting out, you shouldn't be a pole dancer with a good side and a bad side. They should both be evenly trained, yeah? Yeah, because you don't want one bicep bigger than the other. Yeah. All right, so on the other side, exactly the same thing. Pushing down, making sure that elbow's not bent, and pulling through the top. And even then, I can because I'm pushing and I'm pulling, I can bring, it feels like one of my legs want to come off the ground. So the next important bit is, where do we tuck? Where does the pole go? You need grip, you need this thigh grip. What I tell girls is, see how on my body I sort of come out on the tops of my thighs? That's the area that you want this pole to sit. So when you're coming beside the pole and you've got your split grip ready and you're about to put your leg on, that's where you want that little fatty bit that sits at the top of our thighs. You want to put that on the pole, and that's going to help for your grip. So with your knee, it needs to be pretty high, like it's not parallel, it's higher than parallel. Your hand, forehead height, the other one now comes underneath your butt, which has allowed me to start bringing my chest across the pole, because in a tuck, you want your chest over here. So once we're here, we'll go up. You can just start with just trying to lift yourself up. So pushing through the bottom, pulling through the top, and lifting. There should be no jumping ever in this trick, because you're just going to put dynamic weight on your wrist, which you don't want to have. So coming up, the next thing I want to think about is I'm rolling, the pole's here, I'm rolling over with my body to get the pole now in the front part. But the goal is, when we get strong enough, the goal is to have the pole touch this whole area here. So both legs to the pole, and that's going to look like this. So pushing down through that arm, pulling through that top, bringing both my tits to the other side, and then bringing your head that way as well, because if you're thinking up, you're not quite going to get across. So pushing both thighs to the pole, rolling down. So you would have seen that whole time, I'm just rolling over that leg. I'm not even going to jump into it because I'm scared what my wrists are going to do. But if we do that on the other side, bringing my leg up into that fatty part, bringing my other hand underneath my butt, top hand about forehead height, pulling, pushing through that bottom arm, and rolling over to the fronts of my thighs touch. So yeah, ladies, this is a super foundational move. You really want to make sure you're getting the foundations of this tuck pull right, because they lead to your gemillas, and the split grip itself leads to all the upside down stuff that you probably want to do when you're in bed. So we want to get this right. So those are just your tucks today. If you're a beginner, you should be practicing these pretty regularly. However, if you are a beginner, split grips can be quite harsh on your wrist. So please take your time. Probably try not to do any more than 3 in a training session on each side to make sure you're looking after those wrists. If you have any questions, pop them on the weekly Q&A. More than happy to help. Take a video of yourself so we can see what you're doing, and we can help you there if you're having any troubles. So thank you for joining me today to do our tucks, and I hope to see them soon.